Hi, I've been so excited to make this video because it's a huge milestone in my life, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of myself. There's not a lot of people talking about taking Dupixent for nasal polyps, so I want to be that spokesperson. Today's October 3rd, and October 1st was my 1 year anniversary for being on Dupixent for 1 year. So even though I had my first loading dose in April, I didn't start consistently taking it until October of 2024. So as I said, it's been a year of me taking it consistently every 2 weeks for a year. Wow. Wow. Like, I guess we should start back at the beginning. If you want to watch my video of how I spoke to my doctor about it, how I got the insurance, how I actually went and got the medication, all that beforehand stuff, I will link it below or up here. And yeah, that video is helpful to watch if you're curious about like the insurance or just like how do you even begin to get your hands on Dupixent in the first place. I share my whole experience with that because it was a long 7-month long process. So if you want to take Dupixent but you don't know where to start, that would be a great video for you to watch. In this video, I'm just going to be sharing how my Dupixent journey has been since taking it consistently for 1 year. What was I doing in that space between April and October when I wasn't taking it? And I will talk about any side effects that I've experienced and what my plans for the future are regarding taking this medication. So let's get into it. So I had my first loading dose. I went to the clinic with my partner and he did it for me in my thigh with the nurse who taught him how to do it. And after that, I did it every 2 weeks with my partner. I think we did it 2 or 3 more times together. And I just have such bad trypanophobia, which is a fear of needles in the medical setting. I can get tattoos. I'm fine, but just medical procedures in general, they make me so anxious. Every time that I was going to do my Dupixent injection with my partner, I would sit there with him for an hour and I would get so frustrated. I would cry and I would yell, and I just didn't understand how it was possible to just let someone, even someone I love and trust, inject me with a needle. And it's just such a hard mental block to get over as someone who has a really bad fear of needles. It's really this mind game that you have to play with yourself. Is because like your brain is trying to keep you safe, like keep that sharp object away from me, it's gonna hurt a little bit, and you have to override that fear and you have to just let them do it. And it just wasn't working for me. And there was this day where my partner was like sitting with me in my van and we were trying to do it for like an hour, and then we went like into my bedroom in the house and we were trying to do it for another hour, and I just spent so many hours just freaking out and I just could not do it. And it was so emotionally taxing and so draining for me. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it, and I was so frustrated with myself and so upset with myself because I know I'm on Dupixent, I have to take this or I have to go in for surgery. And my surgery experience from, I think I was 20 when I had my surgery for my nasal polyps, like it was such a traumatic experience. I don't ever want to go through that again. And so I was like, it's a really frustrating situation when you want to do this for yourself and you know that you have to, but your brain just won't let you. I think I took my medication from April to June, and I think June was the last time that I did my injection with my partner. After that, I went through this huge mental block from June to October. I wasn't taking Dupixent, and I fell into a depression. Every day I just woke up with this heavy weight on my shoulders because I knew I should be doing this for myself, and yet I just could not do it. And I knew it was just such a disappointing feeling to know that you have to do this for your own health and well-being, and you just can't do that for yourself. I couldn't step up for myself, and it was really disappointing. It put me into a depression, and there wasn't a day that went by where I didn't think about doing my medication. And it was like just this constant weight that never left me for the 3 or 4 months that I wasn't taking it. And during that time, I think in July, I think I went to see a rapid transgressional therapy, something RTT, if I'm remembering that correctly. It's basically kind of like hypnotherapy. And at that point, I was willing to try anything. I was like, I need to get over my fear of needles in order so I can get this done. And basically at the appointment, I just told her about my situation. I was like, I've been scared of needles since I was a kid. I need to take this medicine. I fought so hard to get this medicine, and now that I have it, I can't do it. I wasn't hypnotized or anything like that. I was just like in a very deeply relaxed state. And I won't go into the details of what happened at that appointment, but at the end of the appointment, she gave me a recorded 26-minute meditation that we had done together. And then she emailed the meditation to me, and she said to listen to it every single day for like, I think it was 2 weeks or 14 days or 21 days or something. And then listen to it frequently after that. I was looking at needles and medical procedures in a very negative light because that's what I experienced as a child. Now as an adult, I can choose a new story for myself. So the meditation kind of just is there to rewire my brain and flip the way that I think about needles and giving myself my injection, and it really did help. Although July to October, I was listening to the meditation and I still wasn't doing my medication. And then one day on October 1st in 2024, I listened to my meditation and it put me in a very relaxed state. I went into it with a feeling of curiosity, of can I do this, instead of I have to do this. And I kind of just let the pressure off of myself, and I was kind of just playing around with the pen, and before I knew it, the pen was in my leg and I was pushing it down and the medication was in my leg. And that first injection that I ever did by myself had no pain at all. I don't know if it was because of like my body was feeling adrenaline and so I couldn't feel any pain, but that first injection I did myself, there was like no pain, no stinging at all in that injection. And after I did it, I called my partner and he came to visit me, and we were just in so much shock and disbelief that I had finally done it. And I was just like so proud of myself. Yeah, the thing that just pushed me to get it done was because my last injection had been in June and it was now October, and my body was already starting to revert back to the way it was when I was not on the medication. It's like I was able to survive those few months because my body was still feeling the effects and the benefits of having taken those like 3 doses of Dupixent that I had already taken, and I was kind of just living on the benefits of those. Yeah, by October I had already reverted like back to all of my nasty symptoms. Now I was able to clearly see the benefits of this medication. Being able to function as a normal human being, and I could feel myself getting sick again, I wanted the benefits of the medication more than my fear of needles could hold me back, if that makes sense. I've been feeling so good for the past year. Sometimes I forget about how hard it was for me mentally and physically, like this last decade of my life or something. So I did just want to include a few clips of like me pre-dupixent, because it really shows what my mental state was like, because I was just suffering so much physically, and it caused me to suffer mentally. My quality of life since taking Dupixent for the last year has just improved astronomically. Living with a chronic illness it just takes such a toll on you mentally and physically to just feel so sick every single day, and people are constantly commenting on it. People are constantly trying to relate to you and downplay your symptoms, and they're like, oh, I know how you feel, I struggle with something like that too. And it's like, I know your intentions are good, but you have no idea how I feel. It sucks when you get doctors who don't care about you. Like, I had to switch doctors because my last doctor was hurting me physically and emotionally, and he didn't care. I know it's valid for adults to have anxiety and it's valid for us to have fears, but when you go to a doctor and just freak out in front of them, it's like, it's really embarrassing. When I very first started taking Dupixent back in April, like after my first dose, I think my sense of smell came back right before my second dose. So I think I was just under the 2-week mark when my sense of smell came back. And up until that point, I hadn't had a sense of smell for 7 years. I got out of the shower and I was putting like my leave-in conditioner in my hair, and I could smell it, and it smelled like a beautiful coconut sugar, coconutty scent. And I was so blown away that my sense of smell returned, and I was going into the bathroom and I was smelling all my hair products. Like, one of my favorite scents is my lip balm. It's a birthday cake flavor. Like, I just love the smell of it so much, and I was smelling that, and I was going into the fridge in the kitchen and I was smelling all of these ingredients that I had never smelled. And it's like a year later, I'm still not used to how cool it is to be able to smell it. And like, my taste improved. Maybe it was a few weeks or a few months, but I didn't, like, I guess because when you can't smell, your sense of taste is dulled. So I remember I was eating a pizza and just randomly one day, and the pizza was bursting with flavor, and I remember drinking coconut milk, and for once I could actually taste the coconut in the coconut milk, because up until then my coconut milk had just tasted like water. And all plant milks, for that matter, they didn't have a taste to me, they just tasted like water. And now I can taste each individual plant milk. Like, I can taste the almonds and vanilla in the almond milk. And so that's like something that came back to me that I didn't even know had disappeared. So that was really cool. I'm just a lot less stuffy, I'm a lot less mucusy. Like, I probably went through a box of Kleenex like every 3 days. It was just constantly blowing my nose and constant mucus. Like, my voice would always crack because there would just be mucus in my throat. People constantly asking me if I'm sick, and then I'd be like, no, I'm not sick, and then they wouldn't believe me because it sounded like I had a straight cold for 7 years. Yeah, so all of my symptoms as of right now, they're all pretty much gone. I still do blow my nose more than the average person. I still am more mucusy than the average person. I still am not able to smell 100% of the time. Like, it's just weird. Like, my sense of smell kind of comes and goes. I can smell. I think I've been smelling every single day since January. Sometimes my nose will be super sharp and I'll be able to smell a lot of things. And sometimes I'll be on a walk and my partner will be like, can you smell these roses? And I'll smell the roses and I can't smell them. So I can smell every day, but throughout the day, my sense of smell kind of dips in and out. My inflammation in my face has gone down a lot. I look at pictures and videos from myself from a few years ago, and you can see my under eye puffiness and my upper eye puffiness was just so extreme. And I've definitely seen and noticed the swelling in my face has gone down. My voice has even changed. I feel like my voice was just so different and so stuffed up. It seemed like that was not my true voice. It was like very low pitched and like very stuffy, and I feel like now my voice is how it's supposed to be. It's kind of like raised an octave, and I speak in a higher pitch because there's just all that mucus that was there is now gone, and so I'm able to express myself with my voice more. I can sing again. I actually wasn't even able to sing for the past few years because I was just so stuffed up. I just couldn't do it. Even though I'm not 100% healed, I thought I would have no symptoms by this point. I still do have a little bit of symptoms, but for the most part, I'm able to function like a normal human being. And I feel healthy for the first time, like, since my surgery when I was 20. That's like 7-8 years, which is crazy. I've only seen my ENT doctor once since I've been on Dupixent. I was using Dupixent for 6 months, and when he looked inside my nose with the camera, he said that my nasal polyps had shrunk, which was great news. I know that there are people who take Dupixent who space out their doses. So when you originally start, you start with a bi-weekly dose, and then some people stretch that to 1 month or even longer, depending on just what your body needs. And so I asked him, like, if he thinks I should stay on the bi-weekly or if he thinks I should be spacing out my doses a little bit more. And he said, for right now, stay bi-weekly and we can continue the checkups and see how your body responds to the medicine. As for the side effects, Dupixent can have side effects for some people. However, I've noticed that the side effects usually tend to hit the people who use Dupixent for eczema more than nasal polyps. The nasal polyp people who I've seen taking Dupixent tend to not experience any of the side effects. So that can be like pink eye, that can be just like dryness of the eyes, it can include weight gain. Those are the top side effects I've seen. The only side effect I've had is sneezing a lot. This is something I've seen other people bring up as well, is that it's just like an increased sneezing. Like, I sneeze more than the average person, and especially recently, I don't know why, but I've just been sneezing so much lately. Like, I don't know why, but if that's the only side effect I'm gonna have, I'll take it. It doesn't bother me. It's just like, yeah, I'm just a sneezy person. Fortunately, I am still taking steroids along with Dupixent because that is what my ENT told me I should be doing. My whole goal is to get off of steroids completely because I do not want to be using steroids long term. I've already been taking them consistently for like a decade of my life, and I know that they can have harmful effects on the body for when you use them like such long term. I'm still doing Pulmicort, so I do a daily nasal rinse in the morning, and I put the little Pulmicort liquid into the nasal rinse and just rinse that through my nose, and that really helps decongest me in the morning and gets rid of the mucus that built up throughout the night. And so as of right now, that's the only steroid that I'm consistently taking every day. Back before I was taking Dupixent, I would be taking my asthma inhaler every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, up to 3 times a day, just because my asthma was just so bad. And since taking Dupixent for the last year, I can't even remember the last time I took my inhaler. Like, I'm thinking in the last year I've probably taken my inhaler a handful or less times. And because like my asthma just doesn't flare up anymore, which is just such a blessing. So it's nice to be able to exercise and hike, and I have this like physical energy. And yeah, that's another thing, is like my lungs have so much more space and clarity inside of them, where I'm able to exercise and hike and keep pace. Like, I remember before I was on Dupixent, I could not even hike or walk up a hill because my lungs were just so bad. It wasn't like I was physically tired, but it was just like my lungs could not keep up. I mentioned this in the previous video I made about my journey to get Dupixent as well, but Dupixent was really a last resort for me, kind of like my do or die moment, because I believe in healing your body as naturally as you can and using medication as a last resort. I did try to heal my body as naturally as I could. I saw a naturopath for 2 years. I spent thousands of dollars trying to heal my body naturally by going off of my naturopath's guidance. And it got to a point where she told me, there's nothing else I can do for you, because every single thing we've tried, your body has not responded or taken to any of it. And that was really disappointing and disheartening for me to hear, because I really wanted to heal my body naturally, heal my disease naturally, but I was just too far gone, I think. And I either had to get Dupixent or I had to go for another surgery, which I obviously didn't want. So I chose the Dupixent route, and I really love Dupixent because it's a non-steroid medication and it's a biologic. So it works with your body to ease your symptoms, because basically what I think nasal polyps and chronic rhinitis and sinusitis is it's your immune system freaking out and causing all of this mucus and inflammation, because your body is coming into contact with something in the world that it doesn't like, and your immune system is overreacting, and it's causing the inflammation, it's causing the polyps, it's causing the mucus. And Dupixent really works with your body to calm your immune system down without being an immunosuppressant or anything like that. So I like that it's a more natural medication. And as for my future plans, I will take Dupixent as long as I have to. I see how well my body is responding to this medication, and one of my mantras is, my body loves this medication, my body knows what to do with this medication. Because I do try to like reframe my thoughts regarding giving myself the injection. I try to speak very positively about it, because inherently there's nothing negative about taking this medication. It's something that my body needs, it's something that my body wants, it's something that works really well for my body. Like, my body really loves it, and it's just been going so well for me. Like, at this point, I just love the way that I've been feeling. I love how healthy I've been feeling, and I don't want to go back to the way that I was feeling before. And so to me, this medication is so worth it. Yeah, obviously the goal is to not take any medication and not be reliant on any medication. But at this point in my life, I don't know if that is even possible, just because I've been taking steroids for asthma since literally first grade. So it's something that my body is very dependent on at this point in my life. I think that would honestly be a miracle if one day I was to come off of Dupixent and my body was just able to keep that homeostasis and that healthiness within it without flaring up. I honestly don't know if Dupixent is like a lifelong medication, or is it something that you use for a few years and then your body knows how to heal itself from then on. I'm not really sure. But there is a Dupixent Facebook group with a lot of members who share their experience, and there are some people in there who've been on Dupixent for a few years, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So I'm just popping in with something that I forgot to mention, but something that I have experienced twice in the year, unfortunately, is a faulty Dupixent pen. So basically it means when you try to inject the pen, I don't think that this happens with the syringes. I think it's only the automatic pens, which is what I personally use. And basically when you try to inject the pen is faulty and it does not inject the liquid correctly. The first time that this happened, I pushed it into my leg, and so the yellow part was down against the skin, but the needle retracted upwards. So like the medicine was basically just leaking out of the pen, went all over the bed and everything. The second time that it happened, basically I had the yellow part pushed all the way down against my skin, and it would not click and it would not release the medicine. And so I took the pen out and I just like pressed the yellow part a little bit. I was like, what's wrong with it? And the medicine just shot out, which is not supposed to happen. The medicine's not supposed to shoot out when you press the yellow part down a tiny bit. You're supposed to press the yellow part down all the way flat until it clicks, and then the medicine is supposed to come out. So yeah, those were the two faulty pens I have. Unfortunately, I didn't report the second one because I didn't have a clear mind and I forgot. But the first time that it happened, what I did is I reached out to my case manager with the Freedom Support Program and I told her what happened. And basically what they do is they send you this little box and you put the pen into the mail and you send it off to Germany, because I think that's where they manufacture Dupixent or something. And then those people are gonna do tests on the faulty pen and see what's wrong with it and make improvements on it and stuff. And then the Freedom Support Program manager set up a replacement box for me, because if you receive a faulty pen, then they will send you a replacement dose in the mail. So I got basically a replacement box for free from Dupixent and from the Freedom Support Program. So even though only one pen was faulty, they gave me, 2 pens per box that I got. So yeah, that is a downside with using the pens, but that is something that's happened to me. If it happens to you, just reach out to your case manager, whoever handles your medication, and they should get that sorted out for you. Because if that happens, you're entitled to a replacement dose. That's been my Dupixent journey for the last year. And I love where I'm at right now. I love how far I've come. I love that I've overcome my fear to the point where, even though it's still stressful and sometimes I do put it off, at least I'm able to take care of myself medically, and like every time I do it, it just gives me a boost of confidence and pride in myself, and I'm just very grateful for this medication that allows me to live like a regular human life and function like a normal human. Like having a chronic illness really allows you to see like, wow, people do take their health for granted. Let me know if you have any questions that I didn't answer. Yeah, I will be linking so I made 2 YouTube shorts when I was 7 months into taking Dupixent, which I will link below. It's basically just like my Dupixent experience and my tips and tricks for injecting And then there's the longer form video that I made, kind of like a recap, like I mentioned, of how I got to the point of acquiring Dupixent. I'm so sorry, like my brain is so fried right now because I've been talking for so long. If you are thinking about taking Dupixent, or if you're on Dupixent, I wish you the best of luck with your own healing journey, because we all deserve to be healthy and feel healthy in our bodies.